Hello and welcome to the FB Premier League show. This is my co-host Matt Walton. What a loser!
Right.
And I'm Tristan. And yeah, obviously the more charismatic of the two of us, the more camera shy one is. I don't know. He's in a new spot this week. Where are you, Matt?
I'm at the neighbour's house,
Ah,
2 doors down,
good Wi-Fi.
looking after the dogs. Is it good Wi-Fi?
I don't know. Wait, is it? You tell me. You're there.
Seems all right. Seems all right so far. No complaints.
All right, fair enough. Well, yeah. So it's been a bit of a jump since the last episode because last week we had some technical difficulties, and honestly, it was a terrible episode. So it's probably a good
Yeah, we
thing it
did.
didn't
We
come
did
out.
do it. We still made the predictions, but no
Yeah,
episode. So,
yeah. Um,
um,
Perhaps Villa's decline also was an underlying factor in why we didn't upload.
uh,
Maybe, but
yeah,
primarily
maybe.
primarily was the fact that yeah, bit of technical issues, and I've been busy as hell all week. Jesus Christ. Anyway, Matt, should we go through what we predicted, the points?
Yeah. So, going into the week, scores were 80, 87. First game was City Everton. I went 4-1 City. You went 4-0 City. What was the score? 2-0?
Yeah, I think so.
2-0 City. Yeah.
That's a good point. I've
Um,
actually forgotten all these scores.
yeah, I think I remember thinking just before the game that maybe predicting a big win for City was a bit naive because I think Everton are obviously lower down in the table, so you kind of assume any team down there, City are going to roll over, but Everton are a bit of an anomaly because of the points deduction and stuff. So I was thinking going into the game, like I don't think City will actually roll them over.
Mm.
And yeah, they won 2-0, still comfortable, but
Well, the logic
yeah,
more for
we
me was
both
just
picked it
City
well.
at home should steamroll anyone really,
True,
theoretically.
yeah, true. But then yeah, we both predicted 4 goals, which is pretty bold considering Everton are actually a decent team. Probably didn't give them enough credit. Then it was Fulham Bournemouth. So yeah, we both got a point for the City win. Fulham Bournemouth. I went for a 2-1 Fulham win. You went for a 2-all.
Damn it!
Was it 3-1 Fulham?
3-1 Fulham. Yeah.
Yeah. So I got a point on that one. You got nothing. Liverpool Burnley. I went 3-0. You went 4-1 Liverpool. It
So
was 3-1, was
close.
it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So both got a point, but neither of us got the score. Luton Sheffield United. I was annoyed about this one, man, because I went for a draw. I had a feeling about Sheffield United getting something from the game, but I didn't predict the win. You predicted a pretty comfortable Luton win, 3-1. But
Yeah.
yeah, on it out of nowhere.
Messed that one up.
Um, but I was kind of annoyed because I was watching it. I was thinking, I remember going for Sheffield United here, and then I checked and I went for a draw, not a win. So I was like, go. So yeah, neither got a point. Spurs Brighton both got a point. I went 3-2. You went 3-1. It was 2-1.
Oh, damn it! I thought
Spurs.
I
This
went
game
two
is so
one.
annoying.
I thought I went 2-1. Damn it!
No, you went. Yeah, we were both both had the game. Well, yeah, I don't know. We both went for the Spurs win, obviously, but ah, I would have taken the 0 points in the draw. To be honest, I was so annoyed.
Oh, I didn't predict
Uh,
this last one.
Last one,
Oh, this next one. Sorry.
what, Wolves Brentford?
Yeah, I think I got this wrong, didn't I?
Yeah, we both did. Both. I went for a draw. You went for a Wolves win. Um, yeah, Brentford win kind of came out of nowhere. To be fair, um, don't think many people would have predicted it. It's just they're both teams that are very inconsistent and hard to predict. To be fair, Wolves can be really good or they can be really crap.
Yeah.
Um, Brentford are like kind of the same, really. Um, yeah, I don't know too much about the game because I didn't watch it. Like, I don't know how well Brentford actually played because like they've got 2 fixtures this week, so
Yeah.
it would
Yeah.
be useful to know like, how the game went. But
The unfortunate thing is I didn't get to see virtually any of the games. But I suppose that's a good thing because we're not going to be doing a full breakdown on them. So we're just gonna
no, yeah,
be like, yep,
true,
sure,
true,
cool, nice.
yeah. Forest Newcastle. I went for a Newcastle win, got the point. You went for a Forest win. What was the score? 3-1
3-2.
again. No, 3-2. Yeah, I went 2-1. You went for 2-1 Forest.
Yeah, I mean, you would have
Um,
expected Forest to win that just based on how the game played out. To be fair.
well, oh really?
Yeah, I mean, it was 1.5 x. Well, it's not purely about
I
xG,
saw the
obviously, but
highlights.
1.5 xG to Forest, 0.48 to Newcastle, 13
Yeah, I mean
shots to
Newcastle's
7.
goals were they were like kind of unlikely goals, if you like. They were
Yeah,
just good finishes.
yeah. That's the thing about them. They
Yeah,
do tend to, be quite clinical.
yeah, they just got good players, aren't they? Really, like even through this whole period where they've been very up and down, they've consistently scored goals. To be fair, it's been the defence that's been the problem, really. Um, West Ham Arsenal, fucking. I went 1-0 Arsenal. You went 2-0 Arsenal. Nobody saw the 6-0 coming.
Yeah, crazy, 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 crazy.
Yeah,
Is
bit of
that?
a weird
I think it
one.
says more about West Ham, to be honest with you.
Potentially, I think with Arsenal, because the week before they beat Liverpool the week before, and then they've beat West Ham 6-0. Like they're clearly playing well at the minute.
Yeah,
Uh, but like, yeah, 6-0,
I think
you
a
can't.
6-0 away always says more about the home team than it does the away
Yeah,
team.
like no matter how well Arsenal play, you shouldn't be losing 6-0 if you're West Ham. So yeah, West Ham are having a bit of a shit moment, aren't they? But then we're a
Potentially
weird
time
team.
for Steve Cooper to come in,
That would be insane.
as the rumours are swirling
That's
around.
so ridiculous. Why would they do
Yeah,
that?
bit of a
Even getting
strange
rid
one.
of Moyes, to be honest, I can see the frustration from West Ham fans just because of the football they play. But like, he's been so successful with them. To be honest, it's kind of harsh to call for the sack. But then sometimes managers do go stale, even if they've been successful. So I don't know.
Yeah,
But not replacing Steve
I'm
Cooper.
just happy that it's Steve Cooper that's being rumoured, just because I always talked about Forest being the West Ham
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
bees.
yeah,
That's just what
yeah.
I'm
According
happy.
like you're following your logic, it would be a pretty good appointment. Like it would follow the trend. But they should be realistically, they should be looking for like a Steve Cooper upgrade version. Who's like
I feel like
Steve
Steve
Cooper,
Cooper
but
would be a good option. I think at Forest, things weren't very established. It was a bit chaotic. I think at West Ham,
yeah,
with
I
a more
mean,
established side, maybe his methods would work a little bit better.
yeah, no, I think he's a good manager, and like you say, I think he's kind of the style of manager that would suit their squad and stuff. But like you say, he's kind of is just David Moyes, but he's not achieved as much as David Moyes, so it feels like a step down. Whether they should be looking for an upgrade on David Moyes, but I wouldn't say Steve Cooper necessarily is, to be honest.
No.
But maybe like he's never really been had the chance to prove his potential with a squad better than Forest, so never know. Next fixture is Villa Man United.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we both got it wrong, obviously, because there's no way we would ever predict us to lose at home.
No.
Um, but then what we should say is, I think by and large, you you would sort of generally agree that we deserve to win. Um, and
Yeah, it was an annoying game because the result didn't go our way, but we were the better team, and we kind of almost looked back to ourselves. Like there were still problems. We still conceded from set piece, which has been a massive problem recently. Defense was
yeah,
still a bit disjointed, and we just weren't clinical. There were still these little cracks, but in terms of the overall game, I think we looked a lot more like ourselves at the first half of the season, and we did deserve to win the game. We just fluffed everything in the final
yeah,
third,
just
really.
not sharp. I mean, Dougie could have had a hat trick easily.
Yeah, yeah, he had
Watkins
chances in
could
the
have
end
had
box with loads of
a
time.
double.
Ramsey had some good
Yeah,
opportunities.
Ramsey was everywhere, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a really good game. That's the annoying thing is he was like
Just
brilliant,
kept missing.
just couldn't cap it. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it was frustrating, but like yeah, we both predicted the Villa win, and that would have probably been a fairer result if you take into account the game, but we didn't. Yeah, at the same time, we didn't really deserve to win because we didn't fucking finish our chances. So
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it's a bit of
annoying
a
one, but
weird.
promising. I think it's promising in terms of just the how well we played. I think it's promising, and there are positives to be taken. The annoying thing is the Kamara injury as well.
Mm,
Um,
big injury. Well,
Big one,
I
yeah,
think it purely comes down to how well Irobenham can sort of fill those boots. I think he's got all the
yeah,
right attributes in terms of similarity to Kamara, not just in haircut, in stature and position,
Yeah, no, he's
but his
perfect, isn't he? He
attributes.
really
Even
is.
like he's a relatively slow-moving, glidey kind of midfielder with good feet. Whether his passing is good and his tackling is good, I don't know. But in terms of on the ball, generally, he does appear quite similar. So perhaps it might take
Yeah,
him a few games to warm up, but if he does, we might have a real asset.
yeah. I mean, we haven't seen enough of him, have we? But I think from the small bits we have seen from him, yeah, good on the ball, good at retaining the ball, and I think from like bits in pre-season and stuff, his passing and his tackling does look really solid. Um, and he's been in around the first team for a while. Like, obviously it's gutting losing Kamara, but if you're trying to find a positive in it, it could be the making of a Robinham.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
sometimes at a club where you've got a young player who can't get a look in, and then there's an injury, and then suddenly that young player's career really takes off from that point. Like sometimes that's what it takes is like an injury to another player or something.
Mm.
So hopefully, Emery kind of challenged him in the press conference. Did you see? He said
No, well, I haven't watched it yet.
he just said something like um, it's up to him how well he does. And he said something kind of a bit edgy, where he was like, "I don't know if he can do
When he
it,
looks
but
me
it's
in
up
the
to
eyes and
him."
tells me he's ready, oh no.
Yeah, no, it wasn't that fucking stupid. But it was just kind of along those lines. It was kind of like it's up to him. I don't know if he can do it, but he's got to show us that he can, kind of thing. Like
Yeah,
challenging him, saying, "This is your moment now. You just got to take it."
yeah,
So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I hope he goes straight into the team and just
yeah. Well, I'm gonna
yeah,
have to
it's
cut you
given the
off because
opportunity.
any Palace and Chelsea fans that are watching this, not that there are going to be screaming at us to talk about the next game. Frankly, I didn't watch it and I got it wrong, so I don't think we should talk about it. I just think you should take your points and we should move on.
Well, yeah, okay. Yeah, so it was what 3-1 Chelsea. I went
3-1.
2-0 Chelsea. You went 2-1 Palace.
Yeah.
That's it. I didn't watch it either. So in total, you had a bit of a naff week. I had quite a good week, to be honest. It was 7-4,
Fuck. That cuts it down to four left, three left.
4 points now. So 87-91 now.
Shit.
Yeah, it's getting. I'm slowly creeping up, man. You need to get your shit. Man.
I'm gonna have a banging week. You'll see. This week's gonna
Yeah,
be a
and it's a
banging week.
bumper week as well. To be fair, there's two extra fixtures, so there's even more opportunity
Yeah. You
to
watch
get
this
ahead if you
space.
do well this
Watch
week.
this space. It's coming.
Uh,
It's coming. Right.
Go on then, Brentford Liverpool.
Oh, it's easy, mate. How do you not know what this result's gonna be?
Didn't say I didn't, did I?
Oh, go on. I always go
Uh,
first. I
yeah.
always go first.
Well, I actually don't. So,
Well, it's 3-1
well,
Liverpool, mate. Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. That was my instant.
Yes.
Um, yeah, that kind of seems the obvious one. Liverpool, you got to back score a few goals. Brentford will probably score as well.
Maybe it'll be 3-2.
Maybe. I think if you're going 3-1, I'll go 3-2.
Yeah. That's why you like going second, you little shit. Can't believe it. Anyway,
Got you rattled, mate.
yeah. Well, see, Brentford are going to kind of rely on Ivan Toney to string things together up top. It's just whether Van Dijk can deal with him. I think Van Dijk will. If anyone can deal with Ivan Toney, it's probably Van Dijk. Um,
Yeah, but then Van Dijk does have a
Let's be
bad
honest.
game in him.
Yeah,
He's not.
he does.
He's not.
He doesn't really have a howler in him though. He'll just have a game where maybe he was a bit quieter.
Well, that Arsenal game, he had a bit of a howler.
What was his howler?
Um,
Oh, getting sent off.
very him and Allison kind of like crashed into each other.
Oh, that. Oh, well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if that's really a
That wasn't
howler.
that wasn't all on Van Dijk, but I mean, he's like 2019 Van Dijk, best centre back in the world, probably.
Well, he's
He's
getting
not
close
that
to those
level.
levels this year. This is the
He's
closest he's been to those
Yeah,
levels in his
I'd
entire
agree. I
career.
would agree. He's yeah, because he had that injury, didn't he? And that's
Mm.
when he kind of looked a bit more shaky, and he is getting back there, but I don't think he's there yet. I don't think he's quite as commanding. But no, I do agree. If anybody's going to deal with Tony, Van Dijk can definitely do it. Then the thing with Tony is that it's not necessarily about him in that system. It's like the way that he brings other players into
Yeah,
the game. So if Tony distracts Van Dijk and Brentford use that, then there can be opportunities there.
Yeah,
So
well, in my head,
that'll be
the way
Liverpool.
I envisage Van Dijk dealing with Tony is just to follow him deeper and be really aggressive whenever the ball comes to him
Yeah,
to prevent him getting that turn in, prevent him playing that pass and progressing the game. I suspect as well when Van Dijk pushes up on Ivan Tony, someone from the midfield will drop deep onto him as well, and they'll just
yeah.
basically
And
make
then
it
they've got
impossible for him.
Kanate as well. So even if Tony gets the flick on and gets the pass in behind, the thing that undoes people when they play Brentford is that the defense pushes up. They try to tackle Tony, and he manages to get the ball in behind, and there's space there. But Kanate is just rapid, so I don't know whether even the ball's in behind, even if there is a bit of a gap, if when Van Dijk follows, like I think Kanate can deal with that.
Yeah, as well,
So
balls in the air. When you've got two 6'4" centre backs, even Ivan Toney's going to struggle,
yeah,
despite
the
how
only
good he
thing with
is.
piece threat is that if Van Dijk plays really tight to Tony and he gives fouls away, Brentford are
Mm.
proper good on set pieces.
Van
Again,
Dijk
Liverpool's
doesn't foul
defense has
much
been
though, does
quite
he?
solid. No, that's the thing. He's kind of smooth. He's kind of silky. Um, but yeah, I think if Brentford get at Liverpool, it'll probably be a set piece goal. I think they'll have enough threat to get a goal. But like Liverpool are just kind of motoring and attack at the minute as well, aren't they? So there's
Yeah.
no way Brentford
Although they
should.
have come off that away win, so there will be some confidence there. Um, all right, next one. Arsenal Burnley.
Spurs Wolves. What?
Oh, they're all 3 o'clock, so we could just literally do any.
Okay. Um,
I've got
well, we'll do them
Burnley
in order.
Arsenal in mind. Um,
Right, go with that.
right, so I don't even know. I just don't really know what even was Burnley's last result. I can't even remember. Uh,
Did they
they lost
come?
3-1 to Liverpool, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
And that was at
Yeah, I
home.
mean that you'd expect. The week before that, they were 2-0 down against Fulham, and they came back to draw
Oh
two
no, it
all.
was
So
away.
confidence to be taken there. They're looking a lot better because they've got Fafana up front, who's playing quite well. Gives them a bit more threat.
Hmm. Do you know what? I'm gonna
Um,
go. No, I don't know if that's a good call or not. I am gonna go for the Arsenal win. I want to know what scoreline you're gonna go for before I say mine. I want you to
Say
go.
again?
Well, I want to see what you go for before I say mine.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Because I think we should do alternating who goes first on each one from now on. Makes it fairer.
Okay. Well, you went first on Liverpool, though.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You go first on this one.
Oh, yeah, fair. Sorry. I don't know. It's quite a hard one. It's kind of like you've got to go for the Arsenal win, but do you see Burnley scoring really? So I'm thinking maybe 2-1 Arsenal or 2-0 Arsenal, probably.
Mm,
I think I'll go 2-0 Arsenal.
fair enough. I was going to go 3-2 Arsenal.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I think
Couple
that
Burnley goals.
I think they might get a little overconfident maybe with that 6-0 win and potentially leak a couple.
Yeah, I could see that. And yeah, Burnley have looked more threatening. They scored against Liverpool, 2 goals at home against Fulham. Like they've definitely got more goals in them than they did earlier in the season. So
Yeah, and David Datro. Fofana. I love that name, David Datro. I don't know what to call him. Do I call him David? Do I call him Datro? Or do I call him Fofana? I don't know.
I mean, David Datro is probably cool. Probably the coolest option, I would say.
Yeah.
Whether that's the actual name that he goes by,
DD Fofana. There you
pretty cool.
go.
Pretty cool.
So yeah, oh, I do like watching him play. I liked, when he
It's good, yeah.
first got that game at Chelsea, we pretty much just joined. I don't know if it was when Lukaku had just left or someone was injured or whatever, and he got a game. As soon as I watched him, I was like, this kid's got something. Like I don't know if it's it, but he's got something more than any of the other Chelsea strikers I've seen for like the last year or two. And I was thinking, why did they not just play him? Like he's played one game and looked better than all the other strikers in that. Like I don't know if it was a sub appearance or what, but he's looked better. And then they just loaned him out because it's Chelsea and that's just what they do.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean, if they're challenging for league titles and stuff, it is hard unless they're looking like a world-beaten kind of young player. It's hard to get them in the team, isn't it? And Chelsea do just kind of
Well,
they make bad calls.
you say they're
They?
challenging for titles and things, but they're not. They're mid-table, so they can afford to take a risk, especially when they've
No,
got
what was
no.
it? Was that this season that you saw him?
Yeah, it was early this season. Yeah,
Oh,
so I'm
right,
pretty
fair
sure they
play.
only got him in summer.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
And
yeah.
even
No, of course
even
they
if
did.
it was last January, same goes. Like really, in terms of context.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, the thing I saw him. Who did play? They played Liverpool, and he did look good. Like he was threatening, he was fast, he was good on the ball, his runs were good and stuff. But he was quite wasteful. I didn't. That's not. I'm not saying that that's him as a player because that's one game, and he
Yeah,
scored the game before.
he scored
But
two in the game before, didn't he? Pretty sure.
yeah, yeah, he did. Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's he on? Like he's on 3 or 4 goal involvements in as
yeah.
many games,
So
pretty
yeah,
much.
he's definitely he's a bit like maybe a bit of an Ollie Watkins where his runs are good, his kind of physicality is good,
Two-footed.
um, but he's not super clinical in front of goal. But you don't necessarily have to be if you make the right runs and if you're in the right position a lot of the time. You know, like with Watkins, if he was more clinical, he'd be a world-beating striker. The reason he's not, and the reason he's like only regarded as a still a very good striker is because he's not super clinical. But you don't need to be
Yeah,
if you've got that kind of physicality and stuff about you. So yeah,
yeah.
it looks promising.
2 goals, 1 assist in 3 matches so far in the Premier League. So
Yeah,
we'll see
yeah,
how he
fair,
progresses.
fair play.
Next one, we might as well just jump on. I know we like to save Villa to last normally, but we've already spoken a bit about Villa.
Yeah, there's
Away
not
at
too much to
Fulham.
say, is there really?
Yeah, well, Fulham with a 3-1 win at home in their previous match, looking good. They are reasonably good at home.
They
So,
are, yeah. Jesus
all right.
Christ.
Well, we will get back to you after this short break. Fulham at home to Aston Villa. Previously, when we've been to the Craven Cottage, we have lost 3-0 and won 3-0. So there's pretty good scoreline to bet on right there. If you're
Yeah,
looking
that
at
3-0 loss to
trends,
Steven Gerrard's
yeah,
last game, wasn't it? I don't think that's very useful as a benchmark for how this one might go, to be fair.
yeah. I think this. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it because I always do this. But I might have to do it. It's Villa always. I always predict Villa to win 2-1 away. Always. But I don't know if it's a good idea this time.
Um, what else would you go with? More Villa goals?
I think I'm maybe one more Villa goal.
Yeah, I could see that. I think, yeah, do tend to be good at home. They're always very well organised, but um,
We're getting
Villa are
players back. Is it enough
favourites for
though?
the game.
Who are we actually getting back? It's just Pau Torres, right? And Dean.
So yeah, Dean's back. Torres has been on the bench for 2 games now, so he should be fine to start.
Yeah.
Um, and then yeah, midfield and attack will be the same
Tielemans will
really.
start, so that'll be good.
I think Ramsey could be a factor here because we've been saying how like he's had on and off injuries and he's not quite got back to his best. Against Man United, like he looked like he was almost there
Hmm.
in terms of like linking up with other players and just his general threat and stuff. Is what was missing was his final ball, but I think if he has a similar game, it's only going to take kind of one goal and then he's going to be flying.
Do you know what?
Um,
Considering our recent injuries, I think I will. I will go for the 2-1. That's going to be my prediction.
yeah, I think that's a good shout. It's quite hard to predict how we're gonna perform really without Kamara, and also at centre back we've got a bit of a weird situation.
I think we'll be better off with Longley and Torres than we were with Longley and Carlos.
Yeah, I think so. I think just having Torres there just
I'm not even talking
just
about
ups our level massively.
Torres. I just think that Longley's a lot safer on the ball and a lot less erratic than Carlos. So even if he isn't as quick or as physical against a team like Fulham that aren't necessarily the type of team to just bulldoze through you, it'll probably suit us quite well, and we'll be able to build up from the back quite smoothly. I suspect, especially
Yeah,
with players like Tielemans and McGinn and Louise all still on the pitch.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think we'll struggle to keep the ball this game. So I think having kind of Longley Torres does give us a very solid base to kind of just dominate. Martinez will have to be on it in terms
Well,
of
we'll have to see how Torres
sweeping.
comes back as well. There's no guarantee he's just like the same player. I mean, he will be similar. It's not like he's been out for 6 months, but he might just be a
Yeah,
little rusty.
might take him a bit of time, but I don't know. I kind of think like with centre backs, it feels like a bit less of an issue, that kind of thing, because forward players tend to play on confidence a little bit more, and maybe takes a bit longer to get into their groove. But with Torres, is I don't know, he's kind of that kind of like smooth, composed player where on a game day he's just got to play how he's been playing in training. Really, like he hasn't got to get up to tempo necessarily because he kind of plays at a slow tempo anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think if
Uh,
he gets to run the
so
game the way he normally does, his confidence will quickly pick up.
yeah, I don't think that'll be an issue. So you're going 2-1. 2-1's a good shout. I'm thinking maybe I'll go 3-1 or 3-2. 3-2 wouldn't be a bad shout. Like
Why
if I
not
was
go for a draw or a Fulham win?
fuck that. You mad?
Yeah, but points.
Fuck the points, man.
Points.
At this point, we've predicted a Villa win for every single week so far. So I'm not going to stop now against Fulham, am I?
I don't know.
Um,
Did we? Oh wait. Yeah, because I
um,
was saying it was City where I nearly didn't, and then I went. I think if we win, it'll be this, but I don't think we'll win. And then I was like, but because I'm biased, I will pick the Villa win, and the only thing I think that's going to happen if we win is 1-0. So there we go.
yeah, I think we have.
Uh,
Yeah, Arsenal game we both went for a Villa win. City game we both went for a Villa win.
yeah.
Uh, so yeah. I'm not gonna stop the run now with the Fulham. Like if I was more neutral, I'd maybe go for the 3-2 because I think if I was having a neutral perspective on the game, I'd look at Villa's injuries, I'd look at Kamara out, and I'd look at Konsa out and Carlos, and I think defensively it's going to be a bit of a mismatch. Centre mid, we've lost a defensive player, so and Fulham have been playing quite well, so like, maybe I'd back Fulham for 2 goals if I was neutral. So maybe I should go for that 3-2, 3-2 Villa.
Good stuff. All right. So moving on. Well, yeah. No, let's move on. Newcastle Bournemouth. Interesting fixture
Mm,
because of course Bournemouth sort of set off the decline of Newcastle United with that 2-0 win at the Vitality.
yeah.
Whether they can reproduce that, because they're now two teams in very different moments to where they were before, is another question. Especially at St James's Park, I doubt it. I think Bournemouth, are they still missing players? I mean,
I don't know who
maybe.
exactly, but well,
Not
no,
not
I think
really, not
they're mostly
really.
back now. Actually,
Yeah, I mean even Tyler Adams is nearly back. Billings only
yeah,
suspended. Other than that, Roman Favre, if that's how you say it, is ill, and Max Aarons is
yeah. No,
I don't even
they're
think he's
kind of full
starting.
strength more or
So
less. Senesi's back.
yeah, so it's going to be a really interesting game. Um, Newcastle, on the other hand, they are missing a lot still. Missing Pope, Joelinton, Wilson, and Isak. So, this could be interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm still going for the Newcastle win. I think Bournemouth are having quite a bad moment. To be fair, they lost against
Mm.
Fulham, drew against Forest at home, um, lost to West Ham away. Did they lose that game? Or was it a draw?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
But they're actually in quite bad form. Um, And Newcastle, on the other hand, beat Villa away, drew with Luton at home, which wasn't great, but then they beat Forest last week.
Mm.
So Newcastle they're not in brilliant form, but like the Villa result was a good result. The Luton game was kind of bad for them, but also they scored a load of goals. So it's I don't know. They're clearly like they've still got goals in them as a team. Defensively, still an issue, but I think home against Bournemouth, I think I'm going for the Newcastle win. Um,
Well, it's your turn to predict first.
Uh, Bournemouth have kind of struggled for goals a little bit recently, but I don't know if with Newcastle's defensive problems, I do see Bournemouth scoring. Maybe this could be a 3-2 as well, to be honest. 3-2
Maybe.
Newcastle. Yeah, do it. Do it.
Damn it, that was going to be mine.
Gutted.
Right. Okay, so I'm going to play. I'm going to cover off because 4-2 is unlikely, 3-3 is unlikely, so I'm going 3-1. Or maybe do I go the same 3-2? No,
If that's
I'll go 3-1. I'll go 3-1.
3-1.
I'll go 3-1.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous about that, to be fair, because, yeah, I don't know. Just Bournemouth, the form they're in, they don't really inspire a lot of confidence to get 2 goals, to be honest. But we'll see. Newcastle do kind of shit the bed
Yeah,
defensively.
they've got to do
So,
it sometime. I mean, Bournemouth are going to try probably and get on the ball quite a bit. Newcastle, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out because Newcastle obviously want to be dominant at home generally, but we've seen even in games against City where they haven't been, they've still posed a threat. So
yeah, it'll
especially
be
with
quite a good game, I think, quite
yeah,
end to end.
yeah, with their style of play and the amount of balls over the top they like to play and the amount of runners they usually have, it'll always be interesting, pretty much no matter who they play. Um, so yeah, good shout for a high scoring game, I think. So coming up next on the horizon, Forest West Ham. Yes, another 3-2. Oh, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2, 3-2 Forest. No, 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 no. Yes. Oh, 3-2. Ah, it's 3-2 to one of them. It has to be. Um, because it's the West Ham derby. That's
Well,
what it is
this
really.
was the original 3-2 fixture, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was the one that set it all off.
Kick
This was
started the whole trend.
yeah. Oh God, who's winning this 3-2? Jesus Christ. Um, but West Ham won it at home last time. I can only say Forest are going to win this 3-2 at home.
All
Uh,
right,
d-
penciled in, mate.
d-
I'm
d-
going 3-2 West Ham.
it's all oogie boogie voodoo shit, but that's where I'm going. That's where I'm going.
Yeah, I'm going 3-2 West Ham. I think the 3-2, you can't argue with it. It's the
Yeah,
original fixture. This is the ultimate 3-2 fixture.
yeah. The West Ham derby.
It's a shame Steve Cooper isn't still in the job, really, because that
Yeah,
would be the ultimate like peak of the derby game. But oh
yeah.
well.
Did you know if Forest ever finish above West Ham, it becomes the Nottingham Forest derby? Because then West
Bragging
Ham are the
rights.
Forest wannabes. Yeah. Anyway, do you think we're the only people on the planet that see this and think this? And everyone else is just like,
No,
it's just
mate. All the
Forest and
top
West Ham.
analysts in world football are fucking looking at this.
Uh, we're just weirdos anyway.
Yeah.
Right. Tottenham Wolves. It's going to be interesting. Adogi's out, so who are they playing at left back?
And Porro.
Porro as well. Yeah, who are they playing at right back? I think they
Porro is
got.
captain, I think, isn't he? So
Oh, Spencer's gone out on loan again, hasn't he? In the Championship.
yeah, yeah,
Right. Okay, so he's not around.
yeah. I don't,
Oh, Emerson Royale's still there, so he'll play right
yeah,
back.
probably.
Left back is probably going to be Davies. So
Yeah.
I mean, they could be fairly
Yes.
defensively solid. I mean, who else have they got out? I don't know for
I think
sure.
with the changes there, it's like you wouldn't. I don't know.
Other than that, there's not a lot of injuries.
No, Spurs are fine for injuries. Other than that, like they're kind of back to full strength really. And you think fullback, they should be kind of in most teams they positions where you can make a fairly straight swap and it wouldn't make too much of a difference. But Porro and like the way they play in that inverted system, they're both very creative. Udogie and Porro get loads of goal involvements for fullbacks. They almost play in midfield. They're quite a big part of the build up and the attack and stuff. Defensively, not so much, but in terms of their general play, I think having both of them out might be a bit of a blow,
I
especially against a kind of
suppose,
active team like Wolves.
yeah. I think the one thing I would say is if they do have Emerson Royale and Davies at fullback, they will play a lot more defensively, likely, in all likelihood. In which case, in such case, um, that will provide a lot more of a defensive uh, kind of rigidity, let's say, against the likes of Neto and Huang. Now, I'm not sure what is up with Huang because he's not on their injury list or their predicted lineup, which is strange.
I think he's back. I think I saw in the
Yeah,
press conference that he's back.
yeah, he should be back. Um, so you would imagine if Porro and Adogi were playing in those very advanced sort of progressive playmaker type roles that Neto and Huang would have a lot of space to run into. Because they're not, and you're likely looking at much more defensive players, especially Emerson Royale being particularly quick, I think that could bode uh, well in Tottenham's favour. So, wait, am I going first on this one, or was it you? Um,
Yeah, no, me. Yeah, I don't really buy your thinking. To be fair,
oh, you just think they'll tear them apart?
no, I just think just because Davis and Emerson Royale might be more defensive-minded players doesn't necessarily mean they will still deal with the Wolves'
I
threat.
think it's more about the shape for me. I think when I consider where Wolves and um, Huang and Neto would get a lot of space, it's on the counter attack once Pedro Porro and Udogie are already pushed up high. Whereas those two individuals won't be pushed up as high. I think they'd be a lot
Yeah,
more narrow, not as high,
yeah,
meaning that when they do get those counter attacks, they've got nowhere near as much space to actually play the ball through.
yeah.
Or
I do see that.
and they do like when Cunha was on the pitch, they do like to carry the ball a lot rather than necessarily just hoofing it over the
Yeah,
top. And again, if you've got more players back, that doesn't work as well. So, but if they still go for that, I mean, if they're playing Bellegarde up in that front line or Sarabia, that means they've only got one or two runners. So I doubt they'll play that sort of hoof it route one kind of football.
no.
It's just, so that's kind of my thinking. What
Yeah, no, I do see that in terms of the
what
shape.
bodes well.
Like maybe a bit less space for Huang and Neto. I think I don't know. I feel like Spurs just kind of play their way regardless of the people in their team. So, because I was thinking maybe Porro and Doggy out would affect their kind of structure going forward and maybe would limit their attacking output, but they've got enough in their midfielders and their attackers
Mm.
that I don't know if that's really going to be a problem. So, I'm kind of leaning towards a Spurs win, but you know, we hate going for a Spurs win, don't we?
Yeah,
uh,
maybe.
I don't know. Thinking maybe 1-1 if I'm being anti-Spurs. Maybe
If you've got
two
your
one if
Villa
I'm
hat on, you're thinking 1-1.
yeah
If you take it off, what are you
yeah
thinking?
2-1 Spurs probably or 3-1 Spurs
And your final
or
prediction is
I could fully pull the Villa hat like down over my eyes and go for a 2-1 Wolves win.
do it.
Ah yeah right yeah doing
All right, I'm going
it.
3-1 Spurs.
Fair play. That's much more sensible.
Yeah.
I've got to do it, haven't you? Fuck Spurs. You just got to do it.
Yeah, well, no, I've got to extend this gap again because I'm getting uncomfortable. So
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
I've got
So
to play
I'm
it
not so
smart.
worried.
Yeah.
I'm letting
You're
loose.
well. See, this is the problem.
It's
You're
complacency.
celebrating too early.
Yeah,
You haven't
this is it.
actually achieved what your mind is
I
letting you
know.
sort of reward
I need
yourself for.
Jamie Carragher to give me a fucking telling about my celebrating.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. He'll probably spit on you. He's like a
He
llama.
definitely would. Yeah.
He is a bit like a llama, isn't he? He's got a big, like, face with a big jaw and
Yeah, big teeth.
yeah. Get away from the car. Anyway,
That's
uh,
getting fucking clipped.
Manchester City versus Chelsea. What
Oof.
are we thinking? I'm thinking that City are gonna steamroll them. That's what I'm thinking.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's. I feel like it's easy to get into the thinking of Chelsea being an improved team and making it hard for City, but at the same time, as much improved they are, they're nowhere near City's level.
Well, I
They're
mean, who
still
have they?
Chelsea.
Who did they beat? They beat us in the FA Cup. They beat Crystal Palace, and then they lost 4-1 to Liverpool and lost 4-2 to Wolves. So
Yeah, very true.
that's why I'm going
Not
City
really
4-1.
enough of a trend, is it? You
Actually, no,
going
I won't
what?
go. No, no, I won't, I'll go City 3-1 win.
3-1.
Yeah, I think it's going to be one of the similarly to when they went to Stamford Bridge. I think in terms of possession and who looks dominant on the ball, it won't be quite so one-sided. but I think Pep will adapt quite well in this match, especially with the likes of De Bruyne in there. We saw what he did when Arsenal were a team that could sort of take the game to them and kind of match them in terms of play style and dominance, and he just adjusted and used his best assets in a way that basically sliced through Arsenal. I think he might do something similar against Chelsea, and we'll see a nice 3-1 win.
Fair. Yeah, I like that prediction. I would maybe have had that prediction.
Yeah, I like this new system of alternating. It gives us both a chance to
Yeah, it's
play the
better to be fair. It's
cover,
better.
and yeah,
Yeah. I think I'll go 2-1 City because I think that I don't know. It's kind of hard to predict whether City will win comfortably or whether because like Chelsea when they turn up they can be a very good team just based on the kind of quality of player they've got and stuff. And like structurally, sometimes they look really sound. Sometimes they look completely empty structurally. Like there's nothing there. Sometimes they look really sound.
I don't
Um,
think they're going to be a very particularly sharp in attacking sense because I think Cole Palmer, who normally runs their attack, I think Pep has done a little bit of genius in the press again and started praising him, which is going to get in his head.
maybe yeah.
I think he had a bit of a point to prove when they came to Stamford Bridge, but I think now in the return leg, now that he started complimenting him in the press and saying, "Oh, he helped us, did what we always knew he was this good," blah blah blah. I think maybe when it comes to game day, that'll sort of stop him necessarily having that edge of like, "Fuck these guys, I'm going to kill them," sort of thing.
Maybe yeah.
Maybe he doesn't think
Good
those exact
thinking.
words, but
Thinking.
you get the sentiment.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I obviously see a City win. I think I'll go 2-1 because I think there is a decent chance that Chelsea turn up and play quite a good game, and City have to be kind of pragmatic about it and shut the game down a little bit and just eke out the result. So
Potentially, yeah.
um, yeah, I'll go 2-1 City.
I reckon
Um,
last 5 minutes Haaland gets a goal. I
last
reckon,
five.
yeah, I reckon it'll be tense most of the way through, and then the last five, Haaland will score a header or something to kind of
Yeah, I mean
ease the game out.
that's the thing with City when they've got Haaland is that they've got that kind of dimension to them where um, it doesn't really matter how the game's going. Sometimes Haaland just gets the ball and scores out of nothing, or De Bruyne will just send a pass to
Well,
him that
yeah,
nobody
no, Haaland rarely scores
anticipated.
out of nothing. It's more that if you just lump it up there in the box, there's always a chance he gets on it because he's
Yeah,
just
was
that
it what game
machine.
was it where he scored a really like I can't remember what game it was where it might have been his first game back from injury or something where he just kind of got the ball and ran with it and scored and then you just kind of remembered what a difference he makes to the team because he's just got like you say he's kind of like if you put the ball in a reasonable area for him there's a chance that he's just going to score from it. Whereas before they kind of had to be more methodical with their build up and stuff because they didn't have that. But when it gets a bit dicey for City now, they've got that option of just like put it in a reasonable area and
Yeah,
you've got a chance. Uh,
absolutely, mate. Right,
uh,
what's your prediction? Actually, you've already gone for it, 2-1. Right,
2-1.
Sheffield United versus Brighton at Bramall Lane. Now, I think this is the
I
hardest
don't,
game to predict so
I don't
far.
know. Yeah, I don't know anything. I don't know what the hell I'm thinking here.
I think mostly just because Brighton are always hard to predict, and Sheffield United just have an odd streak in them where they just do things
Yeah.
sometimes.
So
But
yeah, Sheffield United
It's rare
won
that they do the
last
things.
week. It is, yeah.
It is rare that they
It
do the things.
is, yeah.
So we'll
Brighton
keep that
played
in
really
mind.
well against Spurs. To be fair, they lost last week against Spurs, but they played really well. Sheffield United beat Luton last week, but like that doesn't really tell you anything about their general trajectory as a team.
Mm,
So I mean, Brighton are favourites, but it is a hard one because Brighton can be really crap sometimes.
yeah. I mean, obviously Brighton will keep possession in this, and
Yeah,
obviously they're going to have a lot of shots.
I could see maybe a draw. I could maybe a 2-2 or something.
There is that possibility. There is that possibility.
I'm thinking like 2-1, 2-1 Brighton, 3-1 Brighton, 2-2, 1-1.
That's a lot of different scorelines.
Yeah, yeah.
Go on, pick one.
Uh,
Pick one. Otherwise, this thing will end up being over an hour.
Oh shit, can't have that. 2-2. Fuck it. Oh, I don't want. No, I don't want that. I don't want that at all. 2-1 Brighton.
Okay, okay. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo. See, I was thinking the Brighton win. I was thinking Brighton win, and I still kind of am. So I'm gonna go 3-0 Brighton.
3-0. Yeah, I
Yeah,
kind of like that. To be fair, like it could just be a Sheffield United don't turn up and are completely awful.
yeah.
Um, yeah,
That's what I'm
could
thinking.
definitely. I haven't had any draw predictions so far. Not to influence your thinking, but
Yeah,
just
well,
say
I thought about it for the next fixture.
Luton Man United. I'd love a draw here. That would be great, or a Luton win, obviously.
Did Amy just blow her nose?
I think so.
Great background noise.
I don't know. I think so.
Unless that was a fart.
No, it wasn't a fart. I would have owned it if it was a fart. That was
Yeah,
decent.
bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, Luton Man United. This is possibly the second hardest fixture.
Yeah, this could go anywhere, couldn't it? This could be like 3-0 Luton win. This could be comfortable United win. This could be
No, no,
3-all draw.
there's no way this is a comfortable United win. There is no way that happens. I guarantee this is not going to be a comfortable United win in any
Okay,
respect.
clip that up as well
Yeah, you are
when it happens.
clip that fucking up and play it. Play it next to Man United scoring one scrappy goal.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah. No, I do agree. Yeah, I don't think United win, comfortable United win is that likely.
I mean,
Um,
what was the fixture previously? It was 1-0 United. That's I've kind of got that in my head, and I've kind of got like
hmm,
3-2 maybe in my head. I think Luton will be better defensively because they'll want to reconsolidate after that Sheffield United loss.
I'm
Um,
so tempted to go for a Luton win, man.
I know it really is there,
It could just be the revenge element after
but
fucking losing United
the thing
last
is
week.
with
But
form in the Premier League, especially, is it can be very fragile.
yeah,
Form can be incredibly fragile, and you know what? In the last 5 games, Luton have won three, drawn one, and lost one. So yeah, they're in a good moment. But how long will it last? That's the problem. That's what we're all worried about. I I don't think they'll. I say I don't think they'll lose, but 1-0 United is a very big possibility.
um,
Oh God, this is impossible.
God, yeah, it's really hard.
I'm trying to. I'm going to try and
I think
remove
it's going to go
emotion.
2-1 either way.
I'm going to remove emotion from my mind right now. They're both in good form, right? One's very transitional. One likes to keep the ball a lot, bizarrely. Um, Transitional side probably comes out on top. So, yeah, fuck it. I'll go 1-0 United.
1-0 United. Sad times. I'm going for the 2-1 Luton win, man.
I hope you're right. I hope you're right.
This is the week where I lose all of those points I tried so hard to claw back. It's the
Yeah,
Guinness, man.
maybe.
Fucking Guinness.
Yeah.
This is taking points away from me with my
Maybe it's the
stupid.
neighbour's house. You don't know.
Maybe it's not inspiring intellectual thoughts in me.
Yeah. You're just thinking about
Uh,
exploiting other people's stuff.
no,
Did you ask permission to film a podcast in their house?
I didn't. To be fair,
Anyway,
didn't, to be fair,
um,
yeah, all this stuff that you're seeing is not permitted to be on camera.
yeah, it's sensitive information.
Anyway, fuck your bullshit. Everton Palace.
God, I'm gonna send that clip to your neighbours. Anyway, yeah, Everton Palace. This one's tough. What's head to head like on this? I don't know. Everton
God,
1-0 Palace in
probably
the FA Cup.
pretty.
Everton have been pretty dominant in recent fixtures. Palace haven't beat them since 2022.
No, really.
Mm. Are you're first on this one, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Palace are in like a terrible moment, aren't they? But thing is, right? Roy Hodgson has had a health scare at the training ground.
What
You heard
was it?
about this? Don't know, but he was like in hospital. It was like the thing I read was that he had a serious health scare, so he probably fainted or something. Um, so things like this happen. The
Mm,
players they rally around. You know,
they do.
they get that sentiment, that emotion gets running. They want to play for Roy in hospital.
But what if
So
they all saw it coming? What if they're all taking bets on when it was going to happen?
oh, it's brutal. Poor Roy.
I
Um,
I didn't take any bets, but what if they
I
did?
mean, I don't think that was likely.
Probably
To
not.
be fair, but I mean, it shouldn't really make a difference. Palace are a pretty crap team at the minute. They've got injuries to all of their good players.
Yeah, let's look at that injury list a second.
Um,
Decore out, Eze out, Gehi out, Elise out, Ferguson out,
that's all you need
Coleman
to know,
out,
really, isn't
Hughes
it?
out.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah, and then out for Everton is just the only person who starts is Decore really. Maybe Godfrey.
Yeah. Um, and Everton aren't on like good form, but they drew against Tottenham, drew against Fulham away.
They're in defensively solid form, I'd say.
Yeah, they kind of like they haven't had a lot of wins, but they have been solid. They've not been losing a lot of games either. Um, yeah, I think I'm leaning towards the Everton win definitely, but I'm not that convinced by it because they haven't won in so long. But then I just can't back Palace with the injury list and the form. I think I've got to go Everton 2-1. I think
Fair enough.
straightforward.
I'm thinking Everton to win as well. I don't know if I probably see maybe. Oh, this could be an interesting opportunity for a 3-2, you know. But then Everton
Mm,
have been solid defensively. So that's,
yeah,
yeah.
they kind of have, but
I mean,
they're
who
never
who
that consistent.
who have they got in attack right now? It's all the same. I mean, if they start Calvert-Lewin again, I don't see them scoring more than one, maybe two. Oh. So this is what's tough. It's the scoreline. I know what result I want to pick, but I don't know what scoreline I want. That's the tough
Yeah,
bit. I think for the sake of the speedcast, for the sake of the speedcast, um, I'm gonna go 2-0 Everton.
2-0. Right. So that's the end of the weekend. We've
Yes.
got the bonus midweek fixtures now.
Oh,
City.
these are interesting because they are without context of the
Yeah,
previous match. Well, I mean, I guess if we go off what we predict, right? So you've
yeah,
predicted a
pretty
3-2
much.
for
Um,
Brentford
City
versus
Brentford.
Liverpool.
I went 3-2 loss against Liverpool, and I went for a City 2-1 against Chelsea. So I don't think that really changes much. To be fair, they're both kind of the results you would expect. So yeah, I think City at home against like you said at the start, like City at home against whoever, regardless of context, you kind of always expect them to be dominant and win the game. Really,
Yeah. Is this me first? This one? Yeah, it is.
yeah,
Um, do you know what? I quite like the idea of just a nice round 3-0 win here for City. Like a nice and easy does it. You know, big win or good win against Chelsea. Let's just sort of play our game, stick to the basics, do everything well, and just see this one out, and then
yeah.
look forward to the Champions League.
I see that because they're in that mode at the moment where they're going through the paces, aren't they? They're
Yeah,
picking up steam. They've been in this position before. The players are all coming back. It's kind of like they're just rolling off the victories here against the teams they should be winning against.
yeah,
They're just kind of they're doing it. They're getting emotions. Yeah, I kind of agree. I think I'm going to go 2-0 City. I think Brentford are always fairly well organised, so I don't expect them to get steamrolled. So
fair
yeah,
enough, fair enough. All right. So yeah, next one, Liverpool Luton. This one could be fun. couldn't it?
This one could be really fun. Yeah, this could be great.
What are you thinking off the bat? Because you've
I'm
gone for a
thinking,
Luton win, I've gone for them to lose, and then obviously we both
um,
predict Liverpool to win.
yeah. So it's kind of about Luton. You kind of expect that Liverpool at home will come up with a level of performance that is pretty high. Like there's nothing to really consider in terms of Liverpool. They'll have Salah back. They'll be playing well. It's kind of about how much of a pain in the ass Luton can be to them, really.
Yeah,
And they kind of love doing that. Like they've got Adebayo, who's just causes problems against everyone. They're physical.
the
Ross
ultimate
Barkley
EFL
loves being a
striker.
pain in the ass. Yeah, like I said, ultimate EFL player.
I think
They're kind of
do you,
EFL team.
do you still resent that statement?
Nah, I see what you mean. I think like it's maybe a bit harsh because
He is doing it in the Prem.
yeah, like he's playing really well. EFL striker just implies that he's kind of like a physical like presence, and that's kind of it. And he's not very good technically, but I think when I see him, like he is actually really good at holding the ball up and stuff. So I don't know. Maybe
My
it's a bit
my
harsh, but
my,
I do see what you mean.
my kind of sentiment with saying that was more about just him just being so determined to just get something on the ball, just get to it, basically.
Yeah,
That's literally it. That's
yeah.
just yeah.
I do see it. Yeah, it's kind of it's like the one dimensional kind of thing with him, where it's like he's been given instructions that he needs to stick to, and it's like yeah, get something on the ball, get to the ball, chase the ball, whatever it is. Just like yeah, it's not like there's
Love the ball.
love the ball, yeah. Cherish the ball.
Hold the ball.
Um,
This could be an
um,
advert, couldn't it, for the Premier League?
yeah.
Love the ball. Hold the ball. Cherish the ball. Jesus Christ. Right, anyway. Um,
Yeah, somebody hire us.
what's the prediction going to be?
Yeah, no, it's kind of about how much of a pain in the ass Luton can be for Liverpool, and I think they can be a pain in the ass. Liverpool can be got at.
Yeah.
Uh, they kind of always tend to win their games, but they tend to concede goals, and it can look scrappy, even though they get the business done pretty well. So I think Luton. I'm thinking like maybe like a 3-2, which is a bit mad.
To Luton.
Luton scored 2 goals at Anfield, but 4-2. Is it going to be a mad one like that? At the same time, it could just be Luton get shut out and lose like 2-3-0. I'm going to go 4-2.
Oh, for
Going to get the
fuck's
bonus points
sake!
in
I was
there.
going to go
Were
4-2.
you? Were you?
Oh. Right.
Gutted, mate.
Okay. I'm either going to have to go 3-2 or
Gutted.
4-1. Oh, God. You scuppered everything.
That's going to actually kill you if that happens.
Unless I go for it as well.
I mean, maybe we should just share the bonus points on the last fixture, man.
Do you know what? Actually, no, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to go 3-1 Liverpool.
Yeah, fair. Fair.
Yeah, I haven't been playing it safe enough. I'm going to do it a bit more.
No, it's been a bit of a wild week. That's the end. That's the end of the fixtures. We've still not got a draw in there. Neither of us predicted a draw at any
Well,
point.
were there any draws last week?
Got some mad results. Yeah, I got
No,
draws. Did me quite well
there were
last
no
week.
draws last week.
Were they not?
No, no draws.
Oh yeah, no. I predicted 2 draws last week. Neither of them got the point. You predicted 1, didn't get the point. So maybe we're learning.
Yeah, don't predict a draw unless you are absolutely just befuddled at who could possibly win that game.
They're all going to be draws now. Every single fixture.
Can you imagine that? I do remember
That'll
back
be mad.
a couple of years ago when the Premier League was boring and you used to wish for high scoring games, and it would literally be like on a 5 fixture day, you'd be like, oh, 2-1-1s, a 0-0, a 2-1, and 1-3-0, and you're like, oh my god, 3-0, I'm going to watch those highlights.
Yeah, we are in a bit of a mad moment. I don't know whether it's what it is, like just general football tactics in general lending
I
itself
think
to this. But I suppose
everyone's just seen how much fans and um, just kind of football people in general react and applaud to attacking football and positive attitude. and I think everyone's just kind of jumping on that bandwagon. It's only
Yeah,
like what West Ham that are still just like no
yeah. But there aren't that many
defend.
like defensive managers in the league, are there? Like you used to have
Yeah,
Conte and Mourinho who'd value defensive structure quite a lot, and then at the bottom, you've always got the kind of more defensive managers. But now you've got teams at the bottom have kind of got managers like Bournemouth have got quite an attacking kind of play style. Luton are scoring a shitload of goals, and then all of the top managers are also quite attacking
yeah,
minded.
and
So
just the fact that there are more and more high quality managers in the league at all levels does mean that a lot of teams
yeah,
play a more adaptive play style to whoever they're playing, and it can create a lot more unpredictability.
yeah, and the games are longer as well. Like it's like in fantasy, I've kind of given up on clean sheets now because they don't seem to happen as often because the games are like 10, 12 minutes longer than they used to be. And you're thinking, with an extra 10 minutes on the end of a 90 minutes, teams are getting late goals all the time now. I've kind of just given up on the idea of teams clinging onto a clean sheet at the end of a game now because usually it would be, right, we're 1-0 up. We just got to batten down for 2 extra minutes. And now we're 1-0 up. Oh, there's 10 more minutes to play.
Yeah,
So
and
we
that
can't
really
defend
affects
for
the
that full 10
psychology
minutes.
as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, no draws this week. A lot of high scoring fixtures. A lot of 3-2s this week.
Yeah,
Could be exciting.
let's do it.
Hopefully
Let's
they come
go.
in.
And as well, we should little shout out to Fantasy with all the double game weeks. Hope you've all got your
Yeah.
bench boosts, triple captains going. Maybe even a free
Yeah.
hit
It's going
if
to
you're
be a
feeling
big
wild.
one. I'm shitting myself because I wasted my triple captain earlier in the season, and I think a lot of people are going to use it on Haaland, who is probably going to get a goal or two realistically. So I think I'm going to have a bad one. Just got to embrace it.
Yeah, I'm hoping that uh, that 4-2 you've predicted against Luton includes a Mo Salah hat trick, and I will be
Yeah, well, that's the thing is
loving
that so
life.
like my predictions for this week, I've gone Liverpool to win 3-2 at Brentford and 4-2 at Luton, and my only Liverpool player is Jota, so I'm tempted to captain him over a City player, which I think it's thinking logically about it. I think that's a fine shout because he's been heavily involved in their attack, one of their better players, and they've been scoring loads of goals. But Salah coming back, does he get reduced minutes? And City players feel more safe. Haaland feels safe for a couple of goals this week. Like De Bruyne feels safe for a few goal
I don't know,
involvements.
Haaland's goal scoring since he's been back hasn't exactly been that lively,
No,
has it?
that's the thing. I just think there's a if I don't captain Haaland, I'm probably going to lose out big time, which would be annoying.
Oh, he
But
did
at the
get
same
two against
time, the
Everton.
upside of not going with him could be massive. Um,
Did I not
so
watch those highlights? I didn't realise he scored two against Everton. Oh,
yeah, yeah.
shit. Never mind. Maybe yeah. Fuck. He might well do a
But
bit.
then he's still not like fully back in the groove, is he?
Yeah. Well, it's
Um,
why I thought the 14 million or whatever he costs on FPL just isn't worth how much, like compared to how much I can sort of spread that around with De Bruyne, Salah, Son, and Alvarez, and Watkins, and Palmer. Like
yeah,
having all those guys in over potentially just having sort of three of those guys and then some lower quality players just to put Haaland in there was not a good
yeah.
enough trade off for me.
I think it's a strategy worth considering. Definitely, I haven't played my wild card yet, but I might consider one without Haaland because then thing is, I think De Bruyne changes it. If you have De Bruyne, it feels like you're not missing out on too much with Haaland because
Yeah.
Haaland and De Bruyne link up so often. So if you've got De Bruyne but not Haaland, you're at least getting the assist points,
Yeah, and if you've
and
got
you're
Alvarez
getting
as well,
a
any
few
game
million.
Haaland's not playing, you've
Yeah,
got his replacement or
yeah,
at
that's the
least
thing, and they've got Champions League, and so yeah,
yeah.
going without Haaland could be a shout, and then that gives you money to go for like the premium defenders as well. Trippier's getting loads of points at the minute, like he's getting goals, he's getting assists.
Yeah, I've had him in.
Um,
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see
yeah,
what happens. If you've enjoyed this episode and you rate any of our predictions, any of our charisma, uh, or you just found us entertaining or comforting to listen to, or even liked My Fish Tank or Matt's Neighbour's House, any of that, just like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you next week as long as there are no more technical difficulties. So yeah, that's goodbye from me and a goodbye from Matt.